Hey guys, it's Jennifer from the Shooter's Mindset. I am here at the AG Cup 2021. We're at the end of day 2. Lots of shooting has gone on, 20 stages worth. We have a winner of the 2-day match, and we have the 15 that have qualified to go on to day 3, and day 3 is where they will go for the big money. The winner from today won $5,000. The stage winners from the first 20 stages each got $1,000. So we've already given away $25,000. Tomorrow there's going to be $50,000 given away. The winner will get $30,000. The second place will get $7,000. The third place will get $3,000, and then each stage winner for 10 stages will get $1,000. So that adds up to $50,000 that'll be given away tomorrow. I've been sitting here all night going through and interviewing each of the 15 shooters that I could snag away from the festivities and ask them kind of how the match has gone for them. So we're going to kind of string them together into one podcast so that y'all can hear what the top shooters in the PRS, across the country had to say about the AG Cup and how their match went. So those will be all strung together for your listening pleasure. Hey guys, it's Jennifer with the Shooter's Mindset. We are here at the AG Cup 2021. We have gotten through the 2-day match and now know who all is moving forward to the 3-day match. And I've got Keith Baker here with me, who is moving on.
Yes.
Good to see you getting on day 3.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I had a pretty rough day 1. Had a really rough first half of day 1. And then, fortunately, I struggled back in the end of day 1 to bad, but really bad. And then today I'm starting to get things figured out. So best thing is I go in tomorrow tied for first.
That's right. Everybody goes in. The scores are brand new tomorrow, right?
Right.
Whatever happened the last 2 days, you can just chalk it up to experience, but it's not going to affect your scores or anything. So you've been pretty successful in PRS as it goes. You came out of the season in 12th place, which is pretty amazing with the level of shooters that we have nowadays. There's just so many good shooters. I mean, if you look at like who's going to win, it's like, well, gosh, there's so many amazing shooters out there. It's hard to tell. Yeah. And you got 2 second place finishes in War Rifles and Peterson.
Yeah, it's, I started out pretty good in the season, and then I got really sick for about 8 months, and I didn't think I was ever even going to be able to shoot again. Like, I was trying to figure out whether I was going to try and figure out how to fish again. And then I've been getting a little bit better, and I couldn't stand being away from everybody. So finally now I'm starting to claw my way back into it. Still got a lot of work to do, but I'm getting a little better again every month, and hopefully by next year I'll be good to go. Maybe by tomorrow.
There you go. That's right. Hey, you never know what happens, right? You gotta. That's what it is about shooting, is you can have a good day and then a bad day, and so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had the bad day. You got it knocked out, so now the good day will be here.
Yeah, but and I mean, to the level of people that's here is just incredible. I mean, I look at how hard everybody practices and how well everybody shoots, and to just even be a part of this thing and make it to day 3. That's it's kind of a blessing for me.
It's an honor.
It's something I needed, yeah. And when I look at the shooters, and I look down through the list, and every one of them is more than capable of winning it, and equally. It's when you go to pick who's going to win it, there isn't anybody that stands out.
It is anybody's game right now, definitely.
It really is.
You have shot the AG Cup since the beginning. You were in the 2019 AG Cup, you were in last year's, and now you're here this year, so you're kind of an OG.
I am. How many's done that? 9, did you say? 6? How many's gone all
There's
3?
There's 9 of y'all that have done all 3.
9 that's done all 3. Yeah, the first AG Cup was the best match I've ever shot in my entire life. The most fun. It was just such a really honor to do that, and I was really glad Tom's gone through to make it happen, and has done it each year and put all the efforts in to make it. And then and I just couldn't not be a part of it, and to be a part of it again 3 years and then make the cut, and again, it's turned out to be the best match of the season, the most fun I've had. To let everybody shoot against themselves, true, real no help, right? You know, you make your decisions, do the best ones you can, and go out there. Nobody's sharing win calls, nobody's sharing ideas, nobody's talking about anything, and you're doing it with the best. And we got small targets, which is even great. So you're going to see at the end of this match who shot the best. I mean, it's the best shooter will win this match this weekend, which is going to be pretty great. So I mean, there's not that many matches you can say the best shooter wins. Occasionally, but this match, targets are sized, conditions are tough. The best shooter will win this match.
Yep, and it's not because their buddy helped them or gave them a win call.
Not
it's
at all
on the shooter themselves. So
Yep.
it's definitely a unique match. I was kind of sad you made day 3 because last year you made this MDT chicken that was really good. And I was like, man, maybe Keith will make chicken on day 3. And now you're going to be shooting.
I brought the smoker, but I had zero intentions of using it.
Well,
My intentions were to make day 3 at any cost. But I would be making chicken if I didn't. So
well, you're not making chicken tomorrow.
I'm not
you're going to
making
be slinging some lead instead.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. It's good to see you in day 3, though, so I'm glad.
Thank you. I'm really good to be here.
All
Feels
right.
great.
Well, we'll be rooting for you, and we will see you out there tomorrow.
All righty. Thank you.
Thanks. I've got Justin Watts here with me. We just finished the 2-day match, the eliminator match, and figured out who's moving on to day 3, and you are in for day 3.
I am in for day 3.
How did your first 2 days go?
First day, not so great. Not so great for day 1. Day 2, did a lot better. I was able to sneak back in and get into the top 15, but it wasn't looking good. I can assure you of that.
A lot of people had some really rough matches.
Yeah, a lot of people that were in on day 1 didn't make it for day 2. I mean, it's just anybody's game.
That is. So you're not a stranger to AG Cup. You were one of the very first in 2019.
Yep,
You qualified for 2020 but didn't make the match, but then now you're back for 2021.
that's correct.
So how did it go for you as far as the wind? I know I've had some people message me like, oh, I bet it's windy. I bet the Okies are doing good.
I mean, we got like 33% of the top 15. Are Okies. So this was the first time. We were talking to Clay about it earlier. This is the first time I've ever been to K&M where whatever reading you're getting on the Kestrel, you better be holding that. Normally at K&M, if you get a 12-mile-an-hour wind on the Kestrel, you better not leave the plate. I mean, that's just how it always is. You're 1 or 2 tenths left or 1 or 2 tenths right or straight up. Here, if you get in a 12-mile-an-hour wind, you better be putting some freaking wind in it. It was interesting. It took me a couple stages to figure that out, that I actually needed to trust what I was getting on the Kestrel. But
You figured it out and
finally
you came through, and so now day 3 will be a fresh start.
fresh start. We're all tied now. So
Yeah, that's what Clay said. He's tied for first, so
Tied for
going
first.
into the last day.
yep,
So you finished the series, the PRS series, in the 11th place.
yep.
You've won multiple matches before. In 2020, you won the Punisher Positional. In 2019, you won the Open Range Shooters Retreat and Gap Grind in 2019.
Yep.
So you're no stranger to winning matches.
I am no stranger to winning it. Almost won the AG Cup in 2019. I missed it by 1 point.
It happens, yep.
Yeah.
But we got a new fresh start. I know everybody's going for the gold tomorrow. Everybody's going for that 30,000. So
Everybody's going for the gold. I'm not I mean, the 30,000, it would be great, but I'm going for that trophy. I want that trophy at my house. I'm a trophy hunter. Like, Clay doesn't care. He's got 100 of them and he throws them in a pile. I do. I like my trophies. The money, I'll blow that before I even get home. But the trophy, I get to keep it. So
That's
I want
right.
that trophy. I don't care about the money.
well, then y'all can have another commercial for JTAC where you can drink out of your cup.
Yeah, and we'll just let Clay borrow one.
Clay's in the background over here. Sorry, Clay. Didn't mean to bring up bad things.
Just kidding. He's gonna get him a cup this year. He's shooting really good.
That's right.
May not be first, but he's gonna get him one.
That's right. So what's your mindset going into day 3? Just shooting your own game?
Showing up like it's a new match. New match. I'm just gonna start over.
That's right.
I started to get it figured out. I had some gun issues on day 1 that still don't make any sense, but I got them mostly figured out, I guess. All my misses today were on me. They weren't. Yesterday I had a lot of misses that were on my rifle. Today they were on me. I didn't have any that I could say that were. Take that back. I had a couple, two there at the end there that were hang fires, but we got that squared away. But the rest of the misses today, they were all on me. I gotta pick it up and I can handle that. I'm okay with missing because I just sucked. What I don't like is missing because of an issue with a rifle or dope or something like that.
Right.
So if I think I got my rifle figured out. So if I suck tomorrow, it's probably just me.
It'll be on you, yeah.
It'll be on me, and I can accept that. I'm okay with that.
It's good though to have all the equipment. You're straight. You
Yeah.
should be good for tomorrow and shoot your
Hopefully.
best game.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll be rooting for you tomorrow. I've got Chad Heckler here, my
Hello, Jen.
friend.
Hello.
He's one of my friends.
I agree.
I know. So I was so excited that he made it into day 3. Tom just walked in. Hey,
Hi,
Tom.
Tom. Thank you.
But he made it into day 3, and so you're going to be progressing on to tomorrow. I'm super excited.
Yes,
For
me
anybody
too.
that doesn't know anything about Chad, this year he won the Collis match. He also won the MDT Great Lakes Steel Challenge. He came in 16th at the finale and was 10th in the series, which is impressive with the field that we have.
I just barely squeaked in at the last position for a bullet, man. It's sitting on the mantle at home.
That's awesome. I'm excited you got a
The
bullet.
wife keeps moving it over to the side. I keep moving it back to the center, so it's probably in the basement when I get home.
Well, we just need to get you some more bullets, and then it
Yeah.
can be like all across the mantle.
I'm trying.
So how did this match go for you, the 2 days?
I like 2-day matches in general. I feel like anybody can put together one good day, but I think Tom or Shannon said it best. Like putting 2 days together is pretty incredible. So I'm super happy that I'm not here to talk about somebody else, but I'm super happy that Francis pulled out the win. Man, he was consistent both days. I'm so happy for him right now.
That's awesome. So what is your mindset going into day 3?
Man, I don't know.
The match has already started.
The match has already started, yeah, for sure. I've surpassed all my goals this year, so I need to make another goal, which is, get in the top 3 at the AG Cup on the final day. So that's my new goal.
There you go. That's an awesome goal.
Yep.
Well, we got to see you shoot the shoot house, which is a 10-position stage, and we watched a couple people in front of you that all, they're getting close on time and they knew it, and they're saying, "What's my time? How much time?" And when you got up there, you never had to ask that, and we said, well, it's because he had that Crush It timer on. So for anybody that doesn't know, Chad makes the Crush It timer. He has a company, 5x5 Precision. Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, so Francis and I both run those timers. There's a few other shooters at the match. It's basically an onboard rifle timer, and you can see how long the time has elapsed during the stage. I don't use it to make myself go fast, honestly. I use it for myself to make myself go slower towards the end. If I'm rushing at the beginning and then I've got a ton of time at the end, I want to use up all the time. The AG Cup is unique because you get wins for being the fastest and having the highest score. But I told the wife, I'm either coming home with $0 or I'm going to be winning some money at the end. I'm not going for stage wins. But I actually won a stage win.
I was about to say, even though you didn't go for a stage win, you ended up winning
Yeah,
a stage.
It felt good, and I just kept running, and I ended up cleaning the stage in 73 seconds or something, and
it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. So,
It shocked you. You were like, oh, I won it.
yeah, so that was good.
Well, that's awesome. Well, she should be happy that you have some money to come home, so tell her the bullet needs to stay.
Yep. That just pays for gas and bullets.
All right. Any shout outs you want to do real quick? Sponsors I know help
Oh
you out?
man, this year is the first year I've taken any sponsors. I really wanted to take the time to figure out what I wanted to run, and I'm super excited about the ones I picked up. And there's a long list in front of me, and if you'll let me list them, I will.
Go ahead.
Okay. Leupold, they really came in for me this year. I switched from another big manufacturer, and I'm loving them. Lone Peak Actions, they're just super reliable and smooth. Bartline Barrels has always supported me, and I never even asked them. They're just awesome, and they always come through for me. Trigger Tech triggers, MPA chassis. I'm not a big fan of change, and I've run MPA chassis since the very beginning. I got on Team Vitavori this year, and so I'm going to be shooting Vitavori, Lapua, Berger. I've always shot Berger bullets. applied ballistics. It's so amazing to be in touch and have communication with scientists in ballistics, and having Brian Litz's cell phone number is awesome, because I can always ask questions and get to the answers. I always tell people if they ask me questions on the range, I might not know the answer, but I know the people that do, and I'll get you the answer. Accutech bipods have been super awesome for me, and always Swanee's Comp Gear helping me out and getting me the supplies I need. And then Tom Fuller for putting on this thing for literally for 38 shooters is an amazing event, and I really appreciate Tom and what he puts into this, and I appreciate you guys for giving exposure to it and just having fun. Just have fun and shoot.
That's right. Well, we love being here, and I think that's something to be said, that nobody realizes what all goes into what Tom and Christy do to get this match off the ground. There's a lot behind the scenes that people don't realize, so that's true. All right, well, I'm not going to keep you because I know there's food out there in Cornhole, and I know y'all all want to prepare for tomorrow, but I just want to tell you good luck. I'm super excited you made it through, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Thank you.
Quinn Rogers is here with me, and he is moving on to day 3. He finished 10th in the eliminator match, which is pretty impressive with the group of shooters that we have out here and the wind that y'all had.
Yeah, very stacked, very stacked.
Very
Today was a lot of wind. Big change in weather from day 1.
It was a huge change in weather. The first day was warm. It was cloudy, but it was warm and nice, and today was freezing cold. And
I had to go back to the camper twice to go get more clothes.
I understand. I didn't have more clothes, so I couldn't go put more on. But I did put my rain jacket on over my jacket to try and block the wind. It was pretty impressive. We were getting like 15 to 18 mile per hour winds. I don't know what y'all were getting when y'all first got out there.
Yeah, it was kind of it was a lot of wind, but it was kind of coming out of about a 12:30, pretty consistent all day long. We didn't hold a lot of wind. It was a little switchy, anywhere from 5/10 left, 5/10 right. We didn't have to hold a lot, but it could be a little switchy.
But it was switchy, so it gave a lot of people a hard time. So this year you won the Okie Spring Showdown.
Yep.
Was that your first match win?
First match win. First and only pro 2-day match win. Yep.
And how long have you been shooting the Pro Series?
So last year was my first year in the PRS, and then this is my second year in the PRS.
That's pretty good
2
to
years.
finish 22nd in the series with all the shooters that are out there, and to have a match win under your belt, and it's only your second year shooting. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so 26th this season. I finished 10th my first year in the PRS. I won a top 10 bullet.
That's awesome.
So it's been a good 2 years.
That's right. What's your mindset going into day 3?
Just keep shooting my game. Just keep going. I had a couple stages that didn't really go my way. Done some mental error stuff. Hopefully that's out of the way for the rest of the weekend. But I shot good enough. I kind of went back, and a shooter can always go back and see where they left points on the field, and which everybody can do that. But if I'd have shot to my ability, I'd have finished 3rd on the match. So I've got it there. We just got to show up tomorrow.
Show up, and it's like everybody has said so far, everybody's tied for first going into tomorrow.
That's it. It's clean slate.
Clean slate.
Anybody's game tomorrow.
Anything can happen. I feel like any of the 15 that are in it could walk away with this.
Oh, for
very
sure.
easily.
Everybody here is a match winner. Everyone here has won a match. So, so it's pretty. I like it. That was the goal coming in, was to make day 3, and here we are.
Here you are. You're gonna be there. Well, we'll be there videoing you and rooting for you.
Appreciate
and
it.
so we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See y'all.
I'm here with Clay Blackketter at the AG Cup 2021. We finished the 2-day eliminator match, and Clay has advanced to day 3. Very exciting.
Yep.
Very glad to have you on here. So you are one of the original people that shot in 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Yep.
There's only 9 of y'all. I counted up.
Just 9? Really?
9 that have done all 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully this one goes better than the other 2. I think the other 9 probably have a little bit better track record at AG Cup than I do. So.
Well, but you have a golden bullet, so.
I do have that.
Yeah, in 2019 he won the finale and the series PRS series, so he did get a golden bullet. So
Before my buddy Austin started taking them from me, it's kind of inconsiderate, to be honest.
he said he went out there to get the belt to do the interview, and everybody went, "Oh." So you've had a good year, though. You've had a good year in PRS. You have placed very well in matches.
A lot of first losers.
Aw.
A lot of first losers. I mean, you try to put yourself in a position to be at the top week in and week out, and it's not always going to break your way. And it didn't break my way a lot this year, but hopefully I can put myself in that kind of position this weekend, and hopefully it'll break my way.
You have won 6 PRS matches, though.
It's been a minute.
I asked him how many he had won, and he didn't know, and I did some statistics on him. So he won 6 matches in the past, so that's pretty impressive in the field that we have of all the good shooters that are out there.
The field is wild these days. I think I took second in 2 different matches this year to students of ours from this year. And I'm like, well, chalk that one up as a win. We're just going to count that one.
That's right.
But
means you're a good teacher.
Everyone says that Justin's the best teacher. He's mouthy, but he's very good at what he does. But we try to put people there, try to put people here, and it's really cool to see people go from finishing 20th, 30th, 40th, and then in a month or 2 they're winning matches. I think that's the coolest thing in the world. So part of me kicks myself for putting people that finish above me in the scoreboard, but it's just so cool.
Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know, Clay is part of JTAC, which is Justin Watts, Tate Streeter, Austin Orgain, and Clay Blackketter. So that's their initials, JTAC.
I gotta say, you've got to have the highest hit percentage on saying my name right. Like, you're like 3 for 3.
Hey, I'm
Shannon's
impressed.
like 1 for 64.
So I won at something.
Yeah, you're killing it.
I'm so excited. Can I get a bullet for that?
Let's get it done.
That's awesome. But I think it's cool, the teaching that y'all do. They do a lot of classes, and a lot of people have gone to your class and then come out and had extreme increases in their finishes and matches. And I feel like I just saw one the other day that was posting about his consistency. He had done some statistics on some of his matches and how his consistency had improved so much from taking y'all's class. So if anybody's looking for some training, I definitely would love to get out of Oklahoma sometime and take class from y'all. It's just a time and money issue. But anybody that is looking for some help, those 4 guys are all here at the AG Cup.
Yeah. One of our students, he's here this weekend too. He's on day 3. Quinn's one that took the class and jumped on it. Got him a bullet last year. Won one of the first matches of the year right afterwards. I mean, that's what we want, is people to take it. Use what they already have, take our class, and then just run with it.
Yep, and that's what they're doing. So definitely check them out if you're looking for some training. So what's your thought process and your mindset going into day 3?
I mean, it's probably going to sound cliche, but it's just another day. I'm not worried about who's here. None of that matters. I mean, whether it's 15 Matt Purcells, 15 Austin Orgains, none of that at the end of the day really matters. If you take care, and this goes for everybody here, if you take care of yourself and do whatever you can, it'll all work out. I mean, Francis absolutely crushed us this weekend. He's really hurt our feelings so far. But it's a one-day match now, and anybody can win a one-day match. So going to take it one target at a time, one shot at a time. And if I win it, I win it. If I don't, I'll give it my best. So
That's right. Well, we'll be rooting for you tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
Thanks. Now know who advances on to day 3. It's 15 shooters, and one of which is Austin Orgain, who happens to be the champion from last year.
Reigning champion, yeah.
Reigning champion, here to defend his title.
That's right.
Made it to day 3, so you'll be in it to win it, won't you?
Yeah. It starts over, so I got just as good a chance as anybody
That's
does.
right. All you had to do was sneak in the door, get in
That's right.
for day 3, and now you have a
clean
slate.
I wanted to make it dramatic, so I shots just kind of okay on day 1 and 2.
So you just were 7th, not 1st. You just kind of wanted to.
Yeah.
You didn't want to come in and just.
Yeah, just
put
right
it
there in
all
the middle of
down
the
in
pack
front.
where I wasn't too nervous about making it in, but I was still going to make it in. That's
Right.
What my goal was coming here.
Of course. So you have had a very remarkable shooting career. People are making faces through the glass, but
Dave.
Dave Preston back there making faces.
Yeah.
You've been very impressive. So last year you won the season.
Yep.
You won the finale.
Yep.
You won the Box Canyon Showdown, Okie Summer Showdown, and the South Wind Showdown.
Yep.
Lord, how many matches have you won?
Total?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shoot. 16-ish? 15, 16? I'd have to count it up. I don't even know.
That'd be a good number to know, like, be able to
Yeah,
spit it out.
I guess I should go look it up and get an exact number. But I think it's like 15 or 16 two-day national matches, counting the finale this year. So.
You've been pretty consistent all around.
Yeah.
So how did these 2 days go for you? Was the wind a problem?
Well, yeah, yes and no. Coming from Oklahoma, I'm used to shooting in the wind. I'm not used to shooting in the wind here, which is a little bit different because it's hard to feel what the wind's doing at your shooting position because of all the trees. And so it's pretty deceptive on what it is. And with us not being able to be on glass while everybody else is shooting, you get a ton of information watching other people shoot.
Right.
Even with them telling you nothing, if you know what to look for, you can get a ton of information. Without that, without the feeling of trees, it's a lot harder, so you really have to look at mirage and conditions. With it being cloudy today and not a lot of mirage, it made it pretty tough. It was wind, but it was wind that was switching in the middle of the stage. It was you would start a stage, but you couldn't run the same thing, or you couldn't finish with what you were starting with, and it was just really switchy all day for both days. A lot of tight times in positional movement. I feel like the tight times you can't sit and watch a lot. You have to shoot and move and analyze as you're moving, or you're going to time out on every stage. So that's another aspect that makes it a little bit more difficult, is you really can't analyze what's going on. Some of the stages are so tight time you just have to shoot and hope that the wind holds for your entire stage, or you're going to drop one due to a switch that you're not going to catch because you don't have time to look. So.
Yeah, some of y'all were shooting pretty fast. The stage times were pretty quick. I know we watched you shoot on stage 20, and you were hammering it.
Yeah. I really thought I had a pretty good chance to win that stage, and I didn't end up winning that one. A lot of times when I get on a roll, especially at the AG Cup, the 2 matches I've shot, when you get on a roll, you can kind of feel it, and you kind of know that you're moving quick. And I haven't felt that yet this weekend. Not that I felt slow, but it was difficult to clean stages. I think I only cleaned 3 or 4 on the first 2 days. And not cleaning stages, one of the 35 people or 36 people that were here were going to clean them, so you already automatically know you're not going to win. So it's really hard to get on a roll like that. And I feel like once you get on a roll, a lot of times you can win multiple stages, and I haven't done that yet. We'll see how tomorrow goes.
That's right. So what's your mindset going into tomorrow?
Everybody starts at 0. It's a brand new ball game. I went down, verified my gun shooting good like I knew it probably was, and everything's ready to go. So
you're just ready to
it's
rock
day
and
3.
roll.
We'll see who does well on day 3. Not very many people have ever got to shoot 2 3-day national level matches with this kind of pressure. It's a different animal. It really is. It's hard enough to keep the focus and mindset you need to shoot 2 days in a normal national level match, much less the AG Cup and then going into the 3rd day. A lot of guys are going to be pretty mentally drained going into the 3rd day, so I'm pretty excited to see who can stay on top.
That's right. Well, we will see tomorrow. We will see how it goes for everybody. We'll be out there getting footage of all of y'all and see who can pull it out. So we'll be wishing you good luck tomorrow.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I've got Matt Caruso here with me, who is advancing to day 3. How's it going, Matt?
Good. Very good.
So you finished 6th in this 2-day match, which that's a very strong finish with the people that we have here. This isn't like just a match here, a match there that has, maybe some of the good shooters. This is like all the good shooters from across the country all at one time here in this big match, and you came in 6th in the 2-day part. So that's really, really awesome that you got there. How did you think the first 2 days went?
Day 1 felt great. I finished in 4th for the day. Try not to get in my head about it, but that felt very solid, and I shot really well, minus a couple of really tough stages I knew everyone was going to probably have a hard time with. And then day 2 started with a train wreck on the bus. Ironically, I got a 0 on the bus, just building the worst position I could possibly come up with. And I just tried not to let it get in my head, but I didn't think that was going to be a very good finish for the 2-day portion with that in there. And I just kind of held on and kept doing okay for the rest of the day and stayed in it.
That's actually really remarkable that you zeroed a stage and still came in 6th, because, I mean, with this level of shooters, really, zeroing a stage a lot of times is just a deal breaker. It's the end of, you can't recover from that just because there's so many points out there, and people don't drop that many points when you're at this level. So that really kind of is a testament, though, to all of your other stages and how well you shot them to have still finished in 6th. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just I really try not to give up when you have that one bad gut shot, because I mean it's hard not to, but it's paid off a bunch of times so far. So I ride on that. I'm like, okay, it's not time to give up. Just keep going.
That's right. Keep going, and you can do it.
Yeah.
So you won the Kestrel Fall Classic this year, and you finished 14th in the series. Strong work on those.
Thanks.
Like we were talking about the level of shooters that are here. You also, how much stage money have you won so far?
Just one.
Just one, but
which
it was
is cool.
We were talking about it right before we went on the video that it was pretty impressive. I had watched someone else shoot it and shot it very fast, and I was like, oh, there's no way, like he'll win it. And you ended up beating that. So he shot it in 42 seconds, which is really impressive. It was the tiebreaker stage, and it was 593,
693
or 693, something like that, KYL. And you had to shoot it from the top of the bunker. Then you had to crawl into the bunker, and I saw a lot of people struggle getting in and out of that bunker quickly. But you were able to do 5 shots on the top, crawl in the bunker, and do 5 shots from in the bunker in 42 seconds. That is pretty fast.
Yeah, felt fast.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I would have liked to have seen that one, but I didn't get to see it. But what's your mindset going into day 3?
I just want to shoot my game. That was the plan coming into it, but knowing that there's money on the line for all the stages and all that stuff, it did kind of work me up a little bit on day 1. I found myself going too fast. Still did okay, but day 2 I kind of got that out of my head and I felt a lot better. So I think I'm just gonna just try to shoot my normal game. I tend to go fast on certain things where I feel really comfortable, and I'll just do that when it feels right instead of forcing it. I'm not really worried about the money. And at the end of the day, my goal was to get to day 3. So there's a little relief right there. But I could see myself doing really well tomorrow. I'm not really worried about the money. I just want to see how good I can do and how far I can get. That's kind of where my mind's at now.
I think a lot of people really like that with this match, to be able to see where you stack up across.
Exactly.
Because you, like us have said before, you might go to one match and there's some of the good guys there, but it's kind of, people will travel to the ones that are close to them, so it's hard to get all the good shooters at one match. So that's really what AG Cup has done, is brought everybody to one place.
And it's any given Sunday. Like, it really, if you have 2 or 3 really good shooters at a match and someone just doesn't do their best that day, it changes everything. But when you have everybody all at one match, it's hard to come out on top and it'd be like a little bit of luck. It's probably you did really well. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to see.
So the money on the line's big, but I do think a lot of people, Justin Watts said he's just here for that cup. He doesn't even care about the money. So
I didn't even think of the cup. That cup is pretty.
If he
pretty
wins,
gorgeous.
I'm going to go and say, you said you didn't care about the money. How about sharing some wealth?
Split it up.
That's right. Let's divvy it out.
Yeah.
But I think this is a bragging rights match as much as it is anything.
Sure.
So, well, we're going to be rooting for you tomorrow. We'll
Thank
be
you.
out there videoing, so we'll see you then.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Austin Buschman. How's it going, Austin?
It's going good. How are you?
It's going well for me. I've had a good time. I've had a lot less stress than y'all have
Yeah.
for the last 2 days.
Well, the stress is over for at least a few hours for me. So.
And that's right. And then tomorrow it starts all over again.
Yeah.
So you have been, how long have you been shooting PRS?
4 years.
4 years. So this year you were 4th in the series.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. And you won the Okie Showdown.
Yes.
That's awesome. So yesterday and today, you came in 5th in this 2-day match. How did it go for you?
For part of the match, it was not great. For a big part of the match, but apparently a lot of other shooters, it was not great either. But you heard that talking to people. It's like most of the stages I shot, I'd come off of them thinking, man, I shot terrible. And then you talk to other people, and then you'd watch a few shooters shoot, and it was like, okay, maybe I didn't do so bad. And then at the end, at lunchtime today, I was I was fairly close to elimination territory, and I knew if I had one more terrible stage, it was like it was over. And then I was going to drive home, and it's a 12-hour drive home, and that's going to be a long drive.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it the whole time. So the last 4 stages of the day, I only missed one shot, and it was great. And I made it in a good spot too.
That's
at
awesome.
Fifth, so that went well.
That did go well for you. So what's your mindset going to be going into day 3?
Win. I mean, I'm going to shoot the best I can. If I could keep up the way I finished day 1, I finished really strong day 1, and I finished really strong day 2. I struggled both mornings, so I'm going to try and avoid those things. And really, it was just super hard stages, which I'm sure they're going to have again. They're not going to throw us easy stages tomorrow on day 3.
I don't think so.
I have to avoid any mental errors. I had a few mental errors. I have to really watch where the shots go, make good corrections. Just the same stuff that you try to do for every shot of the year. And I know if I shoot my best, I've got a chance. So that's what I got to try to do.
That's awesome. So did you win any money yet?
Yes. Even if I get nothing tomorrow, I'm not going home empty-handed. Right. I won 2 stages. There was a mover stage on day 1. We had to shoot 5 shots on top of a tower and run to the bottom and shoot 5 shots from the bottom of the tower, all at a mover at 500 yards. And I got the fastest time on that, so I won 1,000 for that. And then today there was the 10 position through 10 different windows. And I had the fastest clean time on that as well. So, and that one I was just sure I was only going to get about 7 or 8 shots off because I'm usually not that fast. And I was really, really rushing, because I thought I was only going to get 7 or 8 shots off, and ends out I finished the whole thing and never missed. So then I won the.
That's
1,000.
awesome.
So, yeah, so $2,000, and I still have a chance for more.
That's
so it's
right.
great.
Yeah, lots of money on the table tomorrow. All right, well, I'm going to let y'all go back and party and have a good time tonight. Don't party too hard, though, because you got to be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I won't.
All right, well, good luck to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'm here with Jason Greene, and he came in 4th in the 2-day match. So how did the 2 days go for you, Jason?
I feel like I've fought harder than I've ever fought in my life, just to be honest with you. It's been an emotional roller coaster. The course of fire is challenging, and then the wind conditions today, and then you've got everybody that's top shooters in the country. And I could never find the high gear still today, so I was just trying to shoot slow, watch anything, and just try to minimize casualties.
That's good. Well, it seemed to work for you because you
That's
came
all
out
I
to
do.
4th.
It's like a duck. I may look calm on the surface, but underneath it's just chaos.
I know. The wind. Talk about the wind a little bit. It was pretty bad out here.
Yes. The wind was the big thing for today. I had the worst stage was probably the bowling pins, and it was like every time I made the correction, I saw what happened, it would be opposite by the time I got to the next target, and it would not stay consistent. And I hit everything from a left hold to a right hold and a center hold, and only ended up with 3 out of 10.
Yeah, that was a very tough stage, and it was this morning when the wind was just like 15 to 18 miles an hour. And what was so bad is it was a headwind. So when you have a head, if it's just a crosswind, you can just kind of judge, you hold a little more or less that one direction. But when it's a headwind, just a hair of difference will make it either be right or left. And so you can be completely wrong. And I hate shooting a headwind. I think it's the worst one.
Head and tail winds are the worst. Like you said, if you got a 90-degree wind or a fairly consistent other vector, you can do something with it most times. It may have a little gusting up and down, but that really starts twitching around when you get from the head or tail winds.
I saw a lot of just really people just had their tails tucked this morning. It was just a really, really tough conditions to deal with. So you've won the gap grind here before, so you know this range. So do you think that's going to help at all?
Not so much. I mean, tomorrow's a new day. Everybody in this has shot here so many times. It's K&M. We've all shot so many matches here over the years. I don't think it gives me any kind of advantage here versus anywhere else.
Well, and you got to shoot a different area that normally we don't get to shoot also. Maybe you have.
Well, because I'm an old guy, I shot that back in the day probably 7 or 8 years ago. We actually used that part of the range.
It hadn't been
I've
used
seen that
in the
part.
last, 5 years probably?
Yeah, I would say it's probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
Now.
So we were on the range back behind the 500-yard mover for anybody that maybe knows that this area. So this is your third year doing AG Cup. You've done the first, second, and third. So
Yep.
Is this year different than the ones before?
Oh, as far as different, I mean, I like the idea that they went to basically a 2-day, and then day 3 is the 15 versus a daily elimination. You know, it kind of helps out and reward people with consistent 2 days, and also you can offset yesterday with an amazing day today and still make the cut. I come into this just barely by the skin of my teeth. I knew I could not make it to day 3 on my season standings, and so that's why I was fighting so hard, because I knew I had to have a top 10 or better to even make it to day 3. And this will be my first time actually getting to day 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I have a lot of people on the thing when I was reading out who was in what place at lunchtime. People were saying, "Go green beans."
Oh, yeah.
Lots of people were rooting for you at home.
I'm probably not one of the. I've been really blessed. Lord's blessed me so much with this sport. I've got so many friends out there, and I'm not really one of the horse picks to win this, but it is awesome that people that actually support me and just think highly of it. It's just a blessing.
That's right. Well, we will see you tomorrow. We'll get some video of you shooting and see how it's going, and
hopefully it'll be a good video.
It'll be a fresh new day, and
Yes.
so you can, anything bad that happened the last 2 days, you can erase.
That's right. We'll try. That's right.
All right, we'll see you out there tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'm here with Brandon Hembree. How's it going, Brandon?
Doing pretty good.
So you placed third in the match, the 2-day match. So we finished the 2 days of AG Cup, that eliminator match, to see who progresses on to day 3. And you came in third on that match.
That's correct.
Shot pretty consistently, it seemed like. And then you'll progress on to day 3. So how do you feel, well, how did the first 2 days go for you? Let's start there.
The first 2 days went pretty good. It was a little rough start to get going, and then basically I was sitting 14th after day 1. And then after lunch today, I'd moved up to 4th. And then after the end of the day today, I ended up finishing out at 3rd. So the wind helped me out pretty good. Being able to run the apps that I'm running, I've been running geoballistics, and I can put in a target direction and a target wind direction. So basically it gives you everything you need to, and it really doesn't matter what the wind's doing, wherever it's doing, you can change the wind on the fly. So I mean, that's probably one of the number one reasons where I'm at where I'm at.
Oh, that's good. You've had a pretty good year. I mean, you were 9th in the series. You finished 11th in the finale. You won the federal gold medal match.
Correct.
So you had a pretty strong season, it seems like.
Pretty good year. Had some optic issues and changed out optics, and then kind of picking back up where I was originally left off at. So the first AG Cup, I had an optic issue and changed out optics, and everything was okay, but I was still struggling, for the most part, and just getting back in it, staying the grind, and doubting yourself and your abilities. But then I put on another optic because I found out the one that I was running was having issues. Put my backup on, and then that's when everything started coming back together. And literally, like overnight, from the time I sent one off to the time I got my new one put on, I come in 3rd at the Impact PRC match out in Oklahoma, tied for 2nd in that one. Then I won Alabama, and then went to here for the gap grind and tied for 4th, come in 5th because of tiebreaker. And then I believe I tied for 4th or 5th in Altus and come in like 6th or 7th down there. So I mean, strong finish, stayed strong through the rest of the year, finished out 9th overall, for the series. It felt pretty good.
That's awesome. Well, I know this is one of the things I was going to say, is that this is your 3rd AG Cup. You were one of the OGs. You were there at the very first AG Cup that happened. So it's kind of neat to see everybody come back multiple years and enjoy doing it.
It's a hoot.
So what's your mindset going into day 3?
Feeling strong. With the wind picked up today, I felt really good knowing my ballistics and my wind data is spot on, and then having that, along with all the other equipment, super confident in everything. My dasher, I'm running alpha brass with 105s and running them at 3,000 feet a second. And there's a lot of naysayers say you can't do it, but I've wet tested them and everything else, and they'll go a lot hotter than that. But the gun really likes it right there, so I just keep running them. So
if it works, don't change it.
that's it.
All right. Well, we'll be looking for you tomorrow. We're going to be out there videoing, trying to get some footage for all the people at home that want to know what's going on. So we'll see you out there, and we're rooting for you.
That'll work. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I am here with Allison Zane at the AG Cup. We have now completed the 2-day eliminator match and decided who's moving on to day 3 tomorrow. And Allison came in second in the 2-day match, so she is definitely advancing in and shot very well. How's it been going these 2 days?
Pretty good. I mean, I haven't been that nervous, but overall it's been going pretty well. I think I've been shooting pretty good.
You shot very well. The stages that I saw you shoot, you did very, very well. And this has been a tough match with wind and the small target size. What do you think is the hardest thing about this match?
Probably just keeping my mental game in it. Like, it's a hard match. I think when you start dropping points, that gets in your head, and just being like, I think I didn't do too well on 2 stages, and like I had to get over myself at a couple of them, because I'm like, I just have to move on because I can still make whatever work. I can still make the top 10 just because of one bad stage, because everyone's having bad stages. Yeah, it was a hard match.
Well, you did make the top 10 because you made the top 2. For a while, it was 1 and 2. We kept watching, and y'all had a little bit of a points jump ahead of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was a little jump, a point jump between second and third. Really the whole time. There's been a little bit of a points jump. You and Francis both kind of came out and just were very consistent and very strong the whole time, and kind of stayed there right at 1-2 the whole time. So it was pretty interesting. So you have won, for anybody that doesn't know you, you're 16 years old.
Yeah.
Just started MPRS last year or 2 years?
2 years ago. Last year was my first pro season.
That's what I was talking about, the pro season. It was your first year last year in the pro season. This year she came into the pro season and was 8th in the series. She came in 16th at the finale. Won 3 matches back to back, it seemed like. Frontline Defense, Peterson Cartridge, and Vortex Vengeance. Well, Frontline was actually the year before, wasn't it?
I won...
No, you won 4. Tell us what you won.
Frontline last season at the end of the year, and then I won the first Frontline at the beginning of this season, and then Peterson, Vortex, and then tied, and I got second for VPRC.
Gotcha. So anyway, she's kind of making grown men cry. So doing very, very well. So what's your thoughts going into day 3?
I'm just gonna go shoot my match. Like, I mean, I'm really hoping I can win this match tomorrow, but I'm hoping maybe a couple more stage wins and just kind of seeing how I'm gonna do. But I'm just gonna go shoot my match and hope for the best.
And how much money have you won so far?
I've won $3,000 so far.
Yep, 3 stages that she was the stage winner on. So I told your mom, I said, well, she's paying her keep now. You're definitely making some money on it, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll be looking for you tomorrow, and maybe you'll be the first female AG Cup winner.
I really hope so.
It could happen. All right, we'll be rooting for you tomorrow.
Thank you.
I am here with Francis Colon, the winner of the 2-day elimination match. I'm so excited to get to say that. We'll talk about your consistency, but just, talking about past shooting, this year you have shot really consistently and really well, but it seems like it's been second place at Big Sky Brow, second place at MDT, second place at Collis. Now, you took second to your best bud.
Yeah.
So you were happy about it, but you were always second. And so today, then you won the Buckeye Classic.
Yep.
And then also you got a win here, and I was super excited for you for that.
Yep.
It's
been a season.
It has been a season. You've done a lot. I think that everybody that's talking tonight is talking about how consistent you've been. These 2 days, you came out, every time I did a score update, I'd tell everybody, oh, this is going to change. It'll rearrange every time. I think there was only one time that I came and did not say that you were in first place in the scores. And then the very next time that I came back, like 2 stages later, you were in first. And it kind of depended on what stages y'all all shot. So you very consistently stayed in first place the entire time and just never wavered.
Yeah, this is a facility that I have a lot of. I've had a lot of good success shooting at K&M. This is its own version of difficult, though. I mean, this is nothing like we've shot at K&M in the past. The props here are extremely solid for the most part. There were a couple that were a little less so this weekend, and it's sort of intentional. I mean, we have to test not only how good we are off of concrete, but how good are we off of a tire that's wobbly or a deer blind. I mean, there are a lot of tough positions that I haven't seen at this facility before. So to be very honest, I mean, having as consistent a match as I did, I shot really well yesterday. I gave away a few more today than yesterday, but the winds were 3 times what we had yesterday. So we were, at one point, I know I read 23 miles an hour on a gust, which was coming just a little off of a headwind. So if it switches one direction or the other, you are not hitting the target.
That's right.
It was
well, especially when you're shooting 4.5-inch bowling pins.
Yeah, that's to be added. Yeah, it was they're 3/10 to 4/10 wide for most of the targets that we shot today.
Yeah, there was no room for error on these targets. It seemed like, but even so, it seems like every time I saw you shoot, you just shot very consistently and very, very well.
A lot of that, I've got to credit mental process to that. I was fortunate enough, I worked for AB, and Brian on, was it Thursday? Yeah, when did we leave? Wednesday? Wednesday. One of the days, right before we left, I think it was Wednesday morning. Came in, it's like, hey, we're going to switch gears real quick. And he put me on the phone with Emil Praslik, who's obviously, a national championship winning shooter. And we just spent about 20, 30 minutes on the phone together just talking about, what's your game plan going into this match? This is the biggest match of the season in terms of not the money, like put that aside. 40 plus of the best shooters in the world. Like there are no better shooters that I'm aware of. There are a few who I would love to have been here because I think having everyone here makes it all even cooler. But we still have the 40 best shooters that we could get to this event. But Emil, we talked through what are you going to think about? How are you keeping your energy levels, even? And what are you doing on a stage? And what are you doing after a stage? And just walking through what I normally do. But it really gave me something else to focus on the last 48 hours. So that instead of focusing on, I've got to do this, I've got to get on that rock, and I've got to shoot this target. It's like, I already know how to do all of that. Like we train every day to pull a trigger perfectly. And so it's not, yanking, it's pressing and seeing the shot post. It's everything we do to that point, and leading up to the point where we have to go on the clock. That's what sets the pace. And this is a marathon, we have to shoot 300 rounds against the best shooters in the world at targets that are half of what we normally shoot. I mean, sitting back and thinking of it that way is probably not the best time to do it today. But at the same time, it is really a testament to how much mental work goes into this sport.
Well, and you told me earlier, the first day after you were leading, after I can't remember if it was after lunch or after the final, after day 1. And I was like, I'm so excited for you because you're my friend and I want you to win, And I was like, I'm so excited that you're in first. And you were like, it's just 6 matches, 6 little mini matches. And he would look at 5 stages at a time before he ever looks at anything further. You looked right there. I know you and Chad Heckler came on the show and talked about mental game, and how important that is, which you just alluded to. But I saw you a lot today and yesterday, but maybe more so today as the pressure kind of built. Before, you very much were into yourself, and I'd walk by you and I would just fist bump you. Like I didn't want to talk to you and disrupt, but you have a very meticulous process, it seems like, that you go through before you ever pull the trigger at every stage.
Yeah, I mean, if I can take all of the things that I need to have accomplished, tasks A through Z, whatever they are, if I can have all of those completed perfectly, then the stress level that I'm going to face as soon as I hear shooter, stand by, on the beep, engage, beep, as soon as that goes off, I should be in a different mode. I shouldn't have to remember, did I dial my gun right? Did I put my wind to John? Did I write my dope down? Is that the right dope card? Which target am I on? Like, all of those things should be second nature, because at that point you're in just do it mode. Don't think, just do. And when you really sit back and you look at what you're doing, and if you're trying to work towards precision shooting and becoming better, or becoming faster, or just getting into the sport, the best part of this sport is that you can do all this without really sending any rounds. It's everything you do from the time you decide I need to write dope down. Well, what are you going to write it down on? Like, for instance, I use these little paper cards. That's like the 5th generation. I finally had literally blank business cards cut so that I could have an exact copy of the exact same thing I use, not scissor cut versions, so that it always looks the same. I think that honestly, it's all the little details that stack up to give you 1 point. If I had 1 point today because of part of my process, it was a win. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big portion of our success. And I think Chad gets a lot of the credit for that. When I started this sport, I think I mentioned it in the last episode that we did with you, I was very much a field shooter. Get on the gun, just throttle down. I mean, I think Tom Raider did that, but I'll undo that at some point. That being said, it did work to my advantage this weekend, yesterday. But working to speed can be challenging and can put in a lot of bad habits. But working to a process and finding out how to make the process fit the application that you're working within, so whether it's PRS, whether it's 1 minute 30 stages, or 1 minute 45, or 2 minutes, or whether it's ELR, that will help you be more successful finding out areas that you're weak in.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think it will. So you shot yesterday and won 4 stages.
Yes.
And those are based on, it's usually the person that cleans it the fastest, because someone here is cleaning it, right? So whoever cleans it the fastest. So yesterday they kept calling your name for stage wins, and we were kind of laughing about it because he won 4 stages out of 10. So you were very consistent. But today you didn't win any stages.
Nope.
So the question is, was your mindset a little different now that the win of the big match was in play? And so did that play into your thoughts of maybe I need to slow down a little bit to make sure I get every impact to go for the win?
No. Yesterday, that's
fluke?
why I was laughing when I came up for the last check. I'm like, I cannot believe this is actually happening. I was not going for any stage wins yesterday. I wasn't going for any stage wins today. Yesterday just happened to be, I was fast, and I think maybe a couple guys who are normally fast shooters got a little scared that they had a couple of misses that they didn't want to miss another target, so they cleaned it slower. I had a rhythm. It felt like the right rhythm, so I just kept going, and by the time they said, load and show clear or unload and show clear, it was 60 seconds or 55 seconds. In fact, I just ran an average. They had time up on there, and I think my average stage was 67 seconds.
Well, you've always been fast. I've always called you Speed Monkey.
Yeah.
I think I named you that in Wisconsin because I called you Speed Monkey because there was this thing you had to climb up, and I'm standing there after I struggled to even, I timed out and couldn't hardly climb up there with my gun. And then Francis goes, and he's like, bloop, 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 and he just gets up there so fast, and I was like, Speed Monkey.
Yeah.
It fits. See, Swanee, Speed Monkeys.
Yeah, exactly. That worked.
Well, I'm not going to keep you too long because I know that everybody wants to go and have fun at the party and all tonight. But do you have anybody that you want to shout out or anything you want to say?
Yeah, definitely my wife. I couldn't be here without her support, and it takes a lot throughout the year to get to this point. I love you, Lynn. MDT, Loophole, Vitavori powder, Chad from 5x5 Precision. That barrel is unbelievable. It hammers. Applied Ballistics, Impact Precision, Armageddon Gear, Area 419, Burger Bullets, Alpha Munitions, and then a guy who I haven't seen, but I did get a couple texts from this weekend, Swanee, Jeremy. Hopefully I see you soon. And a special note again, Tom Fuller. This series is unique in a way that you can't really understand until you've shot it. And not just the series, but this match. The friendships that you create usually lead you to people around you, and in this sport there are 20 guys that I look to as friends, and there are about 5 that I call my best friends, and they're all here. We get to hang out and just relax and not relax at the same time. So thank you, Tom, for having the vision to get this thing going and keep it going.
It is awesome. So far you've won $9,000.
Yeah.
So there's only what, about 50 on the table tomorrow?
Yeah, there's what, 30, yeah, 40, $50,000 at least on the table tomorrow. So.
Yeah. So got another day to do it. The match has already started.
Match has already started.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you for. Oh, look, your bromance.
I'm super proud of you, buddy. I'm super proud of you. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.
That sounds good. See you in the morning.